Well, hello. Welcome back. So, we going to jump back in here with Lyra Brooks. I know she's named after a Webberjack mod list for Skyrim, but I just like the name. So, and I like the mod list, so I figured might as well go ahead and use it as a name. And then funny thing is, in my downtime on my own, I am actually playing that mod list right now. Not on screen. Okay, so we are doing our Ryujin stuff.
If Alexis asks about me, I am not here.
Okay. We have our latest mission, a new narrative, so we got to travel to Akila City. We have 1 skill point. I don't know that we figured out exactly how we're going to travel to Akila City just yet. Hold on. Blood rush. When you fall below, you gain damage resistance. Okay. Nutrition. Gymnastics. I'm not really worried about sliding. Parkour. Actually, I think I do kind of want. I want to do that well. All right. Hold on. I want to see something real quick. So complete the previous rank to unlock this challenge. Use it, and then that's it. That's all you have to do. That was something that I mentioned before. It may be kind of an unpopular stance, but like I said, I still kind of want the grind to be there. I still want there to be a grind. It doesn't have to be as bad as it has been, but you still should have to complete some things in order to move to the next level. That's just the way it is. So right now we got that little pouch just sticking on our butt. And oh well. All right. So we're going to go down to the lobby. Now, in truth, our waypoint is off world, so. But right now, what we got to do is let's take a look real quick. What do we have? So we go to our inventory. We have 149K that we've made so far, and we possibly can sell quite a bit of other stuff. Short circuit. So we may want to look into just saying, screw it. I'm holding on to things because of the potential legendaries that I could pull off of them. But with the new system, it's not really about or completely about the legendaries that you pull off of an item that you have here. In the new system, I think you can generate what you want the effect to be, and then it just costs money. Look at this. This is crazy. All right.
Hey, no funny stuff with that person.
They're yelling at me about the boost pack. Okay, so we helped him. We helped them. And so they're good. We could go and check on the lady down below on the bottom level. That's right. Hold on. Let's go ahead and do this other one too. All right, so we got to balancing the books. We got to speak to Wang Lei. And then eventually we also should talk to not this one, but not that one. We got the audition. We could talk to the strikers if we need more money. I don't see. She asked us to come back. There it is. Talk to Catherine Lazone. And then we have talk to Borealis and then visit your rented room. I'm going to hit that one real quick. I just want to see why is that one still kind of, because I thought we did. So let's go on over here real quick. Now, guys, I appreciate you guys coming back, watching, and I am kind of really happy with the folks that have come in and taken a look at the initial video that I put out, and so that just is awesome. We probably have to sleep here, which is gonna, so if anything, I am gonna do 1 hour. Oh, look at that. That is cool. All right, so that should have at least worked for visiting our room. Oh, wrong button. And it still says visit your room, but we can't do anything after that. So we'll go back to welcome to peak performance. Eating, drinking, sleeping, restore your hunger, thirst. I think that all was required. Requires you to, in order for it to actually start up, it required you to actually sleep. So we did that. What is this? Hidden treasure. All right, so we already. Oh wait, it said. Oh, see. All right, sneak down. Let's see. There's probably nothing in here. Yeah, I think we already stole the stuff that was in there. Okay. So we'll go down, and then we'll talk to Wang Li, and basically that's just simple. We got to go find a couple of things and everything. Find a couple of things, give it to her, and then she'll give us the slate, and then we can go back to the slate that I got. While we're down here, we will not only just talk to Wang Li, we'll go talk to Catherine Lezione, or Luzone, or whatever her name is, while we're down here. Kill two birds with one stone. I don't think, well, we'll get money from the guy, but I don't think we'll get much money from Catherine. Now, again, like I was saying before, so I appreciate everybody that's jumped in and was viewing. And yeah, my personal opinion is with the mods that we have available now and the mod list that they're putting out here, we are starting to see the game turn into what it should have been from the start. And it's very promising, and it is also very encouraging, based on the fact that, it is, like I said, one, it's my favorite game, but now we're seeing the mods kind of do some of the same things that they did for Skyrim and Fallout. Now, I don't have any creations loaded here, and then creations are cool. Watchtower is a cool creation. Darkstar is an awesome creation. It takes a minute to get used to, and in both of those creations, though, they are $10. So it isn't like they're cheap, but the one thing they do for you, especially if you're on Xbox or something like that, it gives you that ability to bring that and change the game crazy. Like Watchtower is just a very cool add-on DLC size creation, and then Darkstar changes basically the game and the combat and how the game and just the difficulty and everything like that. So it really does revamp and just changes your game for you. And to me, is just the price tag that's involved for something like that. That would be the biggest sticking point. And if you ask me, are they worth it? I would say yes. Uh, because they're both add-ons to the game that are better than what VGS put on. Better than Shattered Space and better than the what's the name? Free Lanes and Terran Armada. Terran Armada I would put in the same category as Watchtower. I just think Watchtower came first and really showed the potential that you could do there. So Terran Armada is just kind of like Bethesda's attempt to give you something as big, and but it's kind of like once you've done one, doing the other one kind of is like, isn't this kind of redundant? Or didn't we just do the same things? So that is one thing to consider. But again, with the mods and the creations and there are certain creations that are paid that really do add some great things to the game. So it's really up to you whether you want to add that. But there are free mods out there, and like I said, these Webberjack mod lists allow you to alter and add to the game and improve and enhance it without spending extra money than what you already spent on the game. I am kind of hoping that what these mods are going to do, and in the whole formula behind Bethesda games, it seems, is they stay relevant because you can mod them to the degree that you do. And I mean, 15 years of Skyrim, 10 years Fallout, and I believe the same thing is possible with this one. And in truth, this one is my favorite of all. If you ask me if I had to pick between the three, this one is. If I have to pick between the five, because if we go to Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas,
cause any trouble?
I played those as well. This one is still on top for me. And then if we go to Morrowind and Oblivion, we add those in there. I mean, in truth, the game that really comes to me, and then what would really be so awesome, is if you could take and redo, and I mean really come and do a remake of Daggerfall. So we got, we got fan-made mods and stuff like that for Daggerfall, but man, Daggerfall was the game that started it all for me. And I've been gaming and playing these games since 1996, right? So I got my first computer, went out and got Daggerfall, and then boom, I was hooked. And I was up late at night, and then I'd go into a dungeon and not come out, 3-4 hours later, find a ruin and then come out and then like get lost. And then there's always that cross back, or whatever you want to call it, where you go and it puts you into the completely different area. And if you can't find your way back from there, you're just running around, and then you loot everything. And you got you have your cart. You actually have a cart that you're completely loading up with loot and everything. Or how you can go into the stores, go hide in the corner, and if they don't see you, or if your hide skill is good enough, then the store closes, and then after hours you're in the store, so you're not breaking in at that point, and then you can steal a whole bunch of stuff and put it into your cart. That game was just awesome. It was so far, like I said, one of the best games I had played at that point. And then, today it doesn't stand up as well because a lot of the mechanics and the things need to improve and change. But it was one of those games where you could get lost and go. And then I feel like that. I honestly feel that with this game. I feel like once I get started and I start doing stuff, I can just completely keep going, and it just from one thing to the next. And then you land on a planet and you're in that zone, if you really want to, you can use your imagination and clear that zone. Go back into your ship, go back in the air, come back, land on a different zone, and then do it all over again.
Got any creds to spare?
And to me, it's like I never agreed with the idea that there's nothing to do, because for me, it was my imagination allowed me and gives me the opportunity to do a ton of stuff here.
Panhandling's a
And
tough job, but
so
someone's
I always
gotta
just
do it.
found that I get lost in this game for hours. Okay, let's talk
Hey,
there.
Chief, you got
I'm
any
just
creds you
rambling.
can spare?
Okay. Hey, here, take
Thank
this.
you kindly. You're a class bass, you know that?
Oh, I
I'll
try.
do my best to someday pay you back. Street's honor. This isn't a donation, it's an investment.
Well, I'm thinking that if you can help me, then we can. So this Ryujin technician wanted to know if you found any slates around here.
Oh, I totally did.
Oh.
Found it in the dumpster right next to a half-eaten chunk. And it was perfect timing, really. You see, the other day, the wind got a nasty cough and blew away all of my business spreadsheets.
Really?
That won't happen with this slate. It's like wind resistant.
Well, okay. Well, look, if I find your spreadsheets, right, can we exchange that for the slate? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to belittle her and say, "Well, you keep spreadsheets," but so
That would mean I don't have to start over.
right,
All
right.
right, deal. I lost them near the employee break area. Look for any papers near the ground, the tables, maybe even the roof. You find all 3 spreadsheets, and I'll give you the slate.
All right. Now, in truth, yeah, this quest could have been done a lot better. Could have figured out some other different way, or how I would have played it instead of this oversimplification. Here, go find these 3 spots. I would have had her in trouble. I would have had her like in dire straits and needing my help, right, to get out of trouble. And then, hey, yeah, I did find I did find your slate, but my mom is sick or somebody's sick, and then I needed some money. So what I ended up doing was I tried to sell it to this person there, and what ended up happening was they just took it, and so I can't get it back. I still don't have any money. My mom's still sick. Whatever. If you help me, I can maybe take you to that person and see if we can convince them to get the slate back. To me, that would have been a much, a much more inventive and creative way to get through this. Because now you're like, okay, I gotta help this person. I gotta help them with their mom, right? And then I got to also deal with this bad person, this bad actor who is intimidating her. And, I got to sort that out. And maybe that does, turn into, say, a half hour, an hour long of things you got to do. You got more, there's more combat involved. There's things like that. This could get really deep. It could even go even deeper than that. So this one thing to go get a slate really could have turned out to be something pretty significant. So I think that is an actual fail on the part of Bethesda to not try to think of it that way. And then it could be, and in truth, we can't say they didn't think to do it that way. What we can say is that when they put it together, they said, okay, for time and for trying to keep down the playtime and everything, they said, no, we're just going to go with something simple, instead of, trying to make it much longer and much more detailed. Because, it could be some people might get aggravated by that. Me personally, I wouldn't. And to me, that would be a very inventive, creative way to do it. And then now the slate thing, I wouldn't do it in such a way that you have to go off planet to go get it. But there factions here. One of the syndicates, right? That are here. So there would be the strikers, the disciples, and there's another syndicate, and I believe might even be four, right? And it could have been it could have been something with the um what do you call them, the security force, right? And you know you go talk to the guy, and then he comes to you and he says, look, I'll give you the slate, but I got a problem. We got a problem with the disciples. They're doing something over here right now. We've been told to back off, but what they're doing just isn't right, and we can't let it keep going. But we have our orders, right? We don't like it, but we got our orders. So Neon Security is being ordered by, say, the big guy up top not to do anything. So they want you to go in stealth-like, do whatever you got to do, and if you do that, we'll give you the slate, right? And then so now you got that, you're doing something for Neon Security, and then you got to figure out how you're going to help her mom, and then all that type stuff, because you promised you would. And then all of a sudden, this one little thing, this little fetch quest, became a significant adventure that took maybe an hour, 2 hours to complete. And instead, boom, right here. So I found your spreadsheets.
Wow, that's real class of you, Chief. A+ stuff. Now I can get my books sorted, executive style. As promised, your slate. Tell your techie friend I didn't peek inside. And even if I did, I don't know what half of it says anyway.
All right. So, again, I mean, it's quirky. She's quirky and everything like that. Like I said, cute and quirky, but I mean, there was just so much potential. And then so there's so much meat left on the bone there, right? And so there's no argument to be made when someone says, yeah, it just doesn't seem fleshed out, or just, very superficial, and, there could have been more. God dang it. You know what? Where am I? Hold on a sec. While we're down here, this is what I needed to do. Let's go back. Let's go over here. Activities. Let's talk to her. Come back. Alright, hit the button. She's in the underbelly as well. So we should have talked to her while we were down there. I forgot about it. I was rambling. You guys always tell me, let me know when I'm rambling. So, and look at her. She's just sitting over there, just hanging out.
I'm afraid I'm not in the best of spirits right now, but I'll try and help. I said I'd talk to you sometime tomorrow. Please, leave me alone.
Oh, I thought we went a day. Sorry to bother you.
No trouble at all. I understand you're just trying to be kind.
Okay. So we come back. Her thing isn't really I don't think it's gonna net us that much money, because it shouldn't, because she doesn't really have much. And what she wants us to do is find her husband's killer. She believes her husband was murdered. They say it was an accident. So again, there is a lot of potential for a lot of these quests to actually get fleshed. If you could, flesh them out and get them, extend them out a little bit, get them a little bit more. In truth, yes, there needs to be more depth to it. And so that is one thing that is kind of, if you say, is kind of disappointing, because the depth isn't there as much as it could be or should be. But still, there's so much potential. All right, so we are no longer doing her. Let's go back here, and then let's go back, and we're going to return that, and then we're going to go look for a ship. Then we're going to go see if we can find ourselves a ship. Where am I in? I'm running in the wrong direction. We might as well just sprint. Alright, so we'll go find that guy. Now the Ryujin quest line, I've done a few times already now. It's okay. It's not my favorite. My favorite quest line is still the UC quest line.
Make it
Hey
quick.
guy.
As technicians, we handle prep and post-op work. Beginnings and ends, as it were.
And what assignments are you currently working on?
I'm not at liberty to say. I will remind you of another common phrase. Loose lips sink ships.
Oh really? You want me to be loose
So,
all about your
Be
slate?
cautious around the office and discuss intel at your peril.
Understand. Alright. You know what?
April, I finished that research you needed done.
Wait,
Everything's right.
why are you spending your time down
I'll be the judge
in the
of
underbelly?
that.
No, you know what?
I see.
Your business, bro. Your business. I
Well
recovered
done.
your slate
This
for
should
you.
be enough
Well
to get me
done.
back in the field
It
by
seems assigning you to this task was time well spent. And as I said when we met, time is money. Hopefully these credits will serve as adequate compensation.
Hopefully those
Now,
credits will put me
excuse
on
me, I have
over
an
the top for
operative
what I
to
need.
brief.
How much did we get? 10K. All right. Let's go see if we can find ourselves a ship.
I'm a little busy right now.
You see where it says now it's updated? We could go back and talk to Catherine if we wanted to. I kind of want to, but I don't really think. I think at most we might get a couple of thousand credits. That's it. So it doesn't change. It doesn't change like what ship we're gonna be able to get. Real quick here. So there's the ship technician. That's right there. I don't know where's those steps. Where do these go? Guys, bear with me. I have not gone up these steps ever. Ever. So I'm kind of curious where they go to. Okay, requires a key. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That is crazy. I've never been up there. There are some changes. So one of the things you can say, yeah, well, one, shouldn't this place be more populated? I agree. I'm not sure why there's so few people out and about. I'm trying to look at the time, and I can't tell which time is which. You see, there's 1331, 1332, and then there's 0738. So either, oh, I see. Local time is 1332. UT time, that's universal time or whatever, is 7:39, which is kind of crazy that it's off like that, but okay. So it's 1:30 in the afternoon. There should be way more people out. Right? Okay, so Freestar Rangers. Now I do like the Rangers quest line, right? That's probably my second favorite. My first favorite is the UC quest line. I really just like the story. I like Hadrian a lot. The outcome is okay. So when you have, I believe there's the Freestar Rangers, there's the UC, there's Ryujin, and I'm trying to think if there's and then the Crimson Fleet. So of them all, I think the Crimson Fleet one is probably my least favorite. So that should tell you where I'm coming from. I guess being a space pirate. Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind being a smuggler, but a space pirate, no. I don't want to blatantly break the law and be known as just a bad person. But smuggling contraband and, trying to get around the law, okay, I can do that. I can try. So that's, I don't have anything against that. All right, so what's his name is gone. So he went and tried something. So yeah, I would agree that this place should seem way more populated than it is. And I've seen it with more people. So I'm not so sure why it's so empty right now. So that is a thing. There's Neon security. I mean, there shouldn't be more security guards than people. That's a mannequin. Oh, mannequins. Oh.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Yeah. Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers. Scum of the galaxy. Robbing,
now,
stealing,
the spacers, they're okay. I think they could have done more with it, but what I would have liked to see is, if you guys are fans of Firefly, I would have liked to see them try to incorporate kind of a reverse abandoned substation. We gotta check that out, right? Let it save. I've never been in it. I don't know what this is. Oh my goodness. Seriously? All right, we'll go down here first. What's world is this? Now, this could be a part of and I'm starting to think maybe this is where part of the strikers audition type thing. This is one of the places that we actually end up having to go to later on, and that's why it's there. Oh snap! What is it? I've only did the strikers thing once or twice. What's this? Foods grader can. Oh, we can take it. We can consume. All right. So cooking station. I'm hidden. I'm hidden. Will it take the vacuum tape? So circuit board, screwdriver, conductor array, circuit board. Gotta watch my weight. 0 wire. We're not gonna take the cup. What is this? Net jack. What is a net jack? Oh my gosh. Is this? No, this isn't. Or is it? I think this later on. Yeah. Botnet.execute. Login. Private network, corporate network, encrypted network, running net crawl subroutine, local network, private network. Okay. Exit and net jack. All right. Whatever. All right. Sound system. Nix. Okay. All right. So we do come here later, and I don't think. Oh my god! I think I just broke the game. I should have done that. So right now it's trying to figure out if it's going to let me. You can see that thing just popped up. So I'm going to pause and then come back when I. Yep. All right. So yes, I do remember this place. I just don't remember getting there like that. But this is Nix's hideout. And then we go visit him later on in the Ryujin quest line. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave if I can remember how I got there. So I don't remember that we had to come down here to do that, though. I thought we accessed it some other way. So that's different.
Okay.
We got the smuggler here. But
You didn't hear this from me. Those mercenaries? The factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both.
now I remember watching Code Carnage play, and one of his biggest knocks was the security guards just out of the blue as you walking by. You didn't hear this from me, or you didn't. And the way that a lot of the quests were given to you through that method, instead of if you look at something like Cyberpunk, a lot of times you got quests by overhearing other conversations. So the guards would be talking amongst themselves, and then you just happen to walk by and you hear conversation going on, and if you decide to listen a little longer, then you pick up vital pieces of information that will lead to a potential quest.
Don't go causing trouble.
And so that was probably a more organic way of getting the quest to you, as opposed to just the guards randomly, saying, "Hey, you, did you hear?" You know what I mean? They don't know you from Adam, and yet they're telling you all about their, something going on. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go in here real quick. So this is
What can I answer for you?
nothing. I want to buy a ship, see what you got. So you can see here, but then the problem is, more than likely, they're not going to have a ship that we can afford. So you can see right there, we got 159. So there's 3 ships available, and we can't afford any of them. Even though, either one of these, this one would have been a good start, but it's 260. And then the privateer is class B. So we wouldn't even have the license to get that one, but that lets us know. So hey, it was later. Okay. So right now I'm not gonna worry about Catherine, right? Again, because we're gonna travel to Neon, right? Not Neon, but Akila City. Where is space? So right now, there's not much we can do. Let's go to the spaceport. Let's go look to see what ships they have, and then we purchase our very first ship. Now, there was this mod. I know it was a creation. I think it's also available. I don't know if it's available as a regular mod, Nexus mod, but it was a creation, and if I'm not mistaken, it was free. It was a free creation. And what it did was it added shuttle services. So what shuttle services did was you could catch a shuttle to other planets and other destinations within the settled systems. And oh snap, what happened here? All right, we fell through and into something. I might need to, there we go. Now I'm scared. That scared the crap out of me. We fell. And that shouldn't happen. So we have our trade authority, and then you can see we took out those risque pictures. But let's see. We can. Why are we able to buy here? Really? I do want to see what they got, because oh, look at that. That's cool. Oh, that is cool. I love that. Black mercenary. Holy cow. Oh, dang. Okay. So here's what we got. So the question is, this is what I'm using right now because of the mechanized. So they give us the extra carry weight. This, in truth, is my favorite. I just love the look on that one. We have the environmental seal that adds 15 thermal, airborne, corrosive, and radiation protection. So that's great. My wife is taking the kids to an alligator zoo today. Oh my God. They're off in the. She had to go visit her mom, who's not doing so well in the Philippines, and oh my gosh, man. So, oh gosh. All right. So right now, I think I got to sell this one. I really do. I think I can use the money more than I can use whatever I can pull off of it. I love the booty here, but maybe we'll just find something else. All right, so I'm selling that. So right now we're using this one because of the, but trying to figure out. So this would be my preference, but we can't, justify not use any other ones. Let's see. We have a ton of resources, but none that's really gonna. Wait. Let's go ahead and sell anything that's stolen. Just get it out of here. Okay, this is worth a lot, but positron batteries are really worth more keeping. Okay. So, all right, so we got 161K. That's where we're at. Let's go on over here and talk to this guy. Let's see what ship she got for sale.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
All right, so we can't afford the responder, but we can afford the Achilles, and that gives us. This would be probably the best starting ship for us to get, because it leaves us with a significant amount of money and the ability at some point relatively soon to upgrade. The transpo, so right here, right off the bat, our cargo capacity, the fuel is one of the things we would have to upgrade immediately on this one. But cargo is almost double of the transpo. Shields, we gotta look at shields and reactor are higher. Okay, so shields are higher on the transpo, but cargo is less than half. The fuel is 3 times as much. The reactor is lower. So that would be something to keep under under consideration as well. Can't afford the Wendigo. Can't afford the Mako. The Sparrow. All right, so this one would be pushing Mustang, it's not bad. The shield is the same, reactor is the same, cargo capacity is considerably higher, over three times as much. More fuel. This might actually have to be what we might consider here. I mean, the reactor isn't as good, but we got decent fuel, decent shields to start. Our jump ability might not be as great. So as you can see, everything is supposedly better. Well, yeah, whatever you get is better than nothing. So yeah. And then we got the Rambler. Shields aren't as good. The fuel isn't as good. Cargo capacity is not as good. So that Mustang right now, this one might actually be a consideration. And I'm not 100%. The Overhaul. Okay, so it's got okay shields, it's better reactor, it's got way more cargo capacity that we can definitely use, slightly better on fuel as well. We got the two guns up front, the two phaser, probably photon weapons, phaser weapons, laser weapons, right? And then you have your basically your cannon right there. And I don't see the third weapon group, so no missiles. So we would want to add something for that. The problem is this would leave us with about 13K, and I don't really know how much upgrades you can do with 13K. And if it's not already fueled, we're fueling it, right? And that's going to take up everything. And then you have the Warhorse. I would love to have the Warhorse. You can see the only thing that it doesn't really compare with, it's a way better reactor. It's got, probably better weapons, better shields. So it's either going to be this one, and what's getting me right now is the cargo capacity. That is what's really getting me, right? But it's 147, and then I think the Mustang, was it the Mustang? I think it was the Mustang that we were really, so I think it was between these two, right? This one and the Mustang. I don't think, I don't think the Mustang, the Rambler wasn't really anything. And then, so yeah, the Overhaul or the Mustang. Yep. So the Mustang has better weapons, better shields, just not as much cargo. Where's the Overhaul? And the thing is, so it is particle weapons, that's what's up front, and then ballistic weapons, that's the cannon right there. The Mustang has also particle weapons, probably these two right here, the missiles, and the laser right there. You know what? I don't know. This is the one I keep coming back to for right now. I got to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, purchase. Yes. Now we got to register the ship. You now have a home ship. Your previous home ship has been added to your fleet to retrieve ships in your fleet. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Now we have to register it. Look at the value oh, that's the wrong ship. Okay. Let me view and modify my
Sure,
ships.
have at it.
All right. Oh, it's registered. Great. 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 Okay. I'm not gonna mess with this right now. Am I gonna do anything to mess with this? I mean, there's tons of things we can do to the ship right now, but why? Why would I? Okay. Shipbuilder. Let's look at weapons real quick. God dang, what are we looking at? All right, so our mobility sucks. So, but you can see all the weapons right now. All right, here we go. All right, it's only 1,300 for another cannon. I might put another cannon on there. I'm looking for, okay, missile launcher, just because we need one. What's that one do? That one's going to, it's going to really, I don't need. How about that? Can I have that one? The Vanguard Obliterator Auto Projector. What is that? Oh, it's auto too. Wow. Can I not have an auto one? And can I have a regular one and it doesn't cost anything? Come on, what? I don't want an auto. Why I don't want an auto? Because sometimes they don't shut down before when you're trying to board a ship. So you're trying to beat it down. Let's see. We're going to try that. And then the error is that there's a missing weapons assignment. So, electron beam, weapon group 1, Mauler cannon, weapon group 2, and then we're going to put the missile launcher right there, weapon group 3. And then I'm going to come over here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can replicate that. And then I don't want to put it up top, but there are places. Let's see. See how it doesn't want to go on there? It's a Mauler 104 cannon, so I'm just going to hit that, and then we're going to come back here. And then I'm going to just go look for the Mauler 104. There it is. It's only 1,300. And then now when I try to put it on the ship. Boom. And then if that's the case there, let's see if we can just set this one for hoops and giggles, just like that. All right. So we just spent 4,500 on the ship. What I'm curious about is this guy here. So there's our grav drive. There's the captain's quarters. Do we really need a captain's quarters? All right. So we got one thing here. Seriously, how much is this engine worth? 9,000. 7,000. We do have, we can't buy any more of those. All right, so our mobility is going to suck for right about now. All right, so we have a control station with 4 stations to it, and then we have a companionway, and then there's our fuel. Here is our reactor, another docker top, and this is just the cowling. And then there's our cockpit. Then below, right here, we have a science lab. I'm tempted to either change it to a workshop or living quarters. I think I'd rather make it living quarters. Doesn't cost anything. And then we have the captain's quarters in the back here. And the question is, do we really need captain's quarters, or do we want to change that into, say, a workshop? All right, so we got a grav drive, we got that. What I prefer, in truth, what's this one? This one is 210 cargo. This one is 210 cargo. And the mass is 45. This one is 245 and 245. I gotta be honest with you. This is what I'd rather do. I'm gonna take that one off. Let's see what that did to our cargo. Didn't do a whole lot of damage to it. Take that one off. Take this. And we're gonna move him down here. Okay. This one, move him down there. Now these are change. This is a change for something in the future. You see how our mobility went up, and I'm fine with the cargo coming down just a little bit. We lost 400 cargo, 420 actually. I'm okay with that for now. I am okay with that. Right now we got this guy and this guy over here. I don't really need him there on this side, so I will take them off real quick. I know that kind of damaged, took our whole number down a little bit, but I'm okay with that for now as well. In truth, I'm gonna put him right there for now. Put you up, and then I'm gonna put you up. And then, yeah. And then I'm going to let it stay like this for a little bit. Now, we need more money before I can do anything. And I have a warning. So if I go to flight check, come back to my messages, reduce mass or add engines to improve mobility. So what I did and what I plan to do is we need 2 of these, if not better engines. I don't, like, if I did, like, in order to get a second one, I need some sort of stabilizer or some sort of attach point for this. This can only attach top or bottom. So I could, and I can't make another one of these. I could try selling it, but I can't buy 2 engines that are going to really help me out. So if I go to engines, you can see, I mean, I can, let me see what this number is. I don't know that I can afford. So this one is 79, 50, 25. So you need maneuvering thrust. You got to pay attention to both, right? And so if I look at this one, you see the engine thrust right there? This one engine, right, is 15,000 thrust. So this is what I would want. And then so if I was trying to replace that with, I would have to look somewhere, and you can see the prices already, and these are C. So here's A. So, I mean, we got options that we can replace it with some significant thrust, but I need money. I need money to do that, and I don't have it. And then any close options, like this would be great. So right now, I believe this is the one, and you see it's grayed out, right? So that I can't actually, so not here can I do it. So right now, our mobility is kind of lacking. All right, so we're gonna exit. We're gonna accept our changes. Oh, I'm gonna go back in here. Let me go back to the shipbuilder. I want to do one thing real quick though. Do this. Come in here. So color 1. Oh gosh, hold on. Color 2. Actually, I'm kind of liking that. All right. So we'll accept. Come on out. All right. So it says that my ship needs repairs. I'm gonna hit it. It's gonna say there's nothing for us to do.
You're in good flying condition.
And then I want to pay my spaceport fee. All right, we're already good to Groves. Have a safe journey. All right, peace, man, peace. Yay, we have a ship. We have a ship. All right. All right, let's check it real quick. Nothing in the pharmaceutical. First aid. All right, we're just gonna board. All right, so we should be alone. So if there's somebody on our ship. Now, it is one of those. All right, so this is our workshop. This was the captain's quarters. Right? It doesn't make sense, really, if you have a ship where you're going to walk into, so, and then I guess that you board into, all right, so this is the living quarters, right? Yeah, so this, okay, good. Living quarters, there's a companionway, and then the workshop, okay? And then we got to go up. All right. So our docker is right there if we dock other ships. And then we come in here. Here's our, what's the name station? Let's see what's in there. Oh, ground crew pack and all that stuff. All right. And then, right? And then the cockpit. Empty is the captain's locker. Navigation computer. Jump seat. Here's our, if we wanted to decorate. And then if we had the supplies, one of the first things we could do is in crafting, we could come down here. Armor enhancement, armor crafting. Let's see. It might be under miscellaneous. Look, Cora's suitcase. I don't know who Cora is. Smart inventory. Credit runner's terminal. Upgrade your quest rewards and loot chance with this terminal. Can I make it? If I can make it, I'm making it. All right, hold on. It said it upgrade your loot chance. We're just gonna put you right there. Nobody's in the window. Nobody's gonna be in the window. Here, get around there. Get around there. As long as it. Boom, baby. All right. Hold on. What's this? Smart inventory. I don't know what that is. But guess what we're gonna do? Since it only costs. All right, we're just gonna put it right there, just in case. All right, let's go over here. I'm looking for better living. Nope. See, there's a ton of stuff that we can do. But I'm looking for one thing in particular: industrial work table. These are all kind of new things that I've not seen before. So what I was looking for, and I don't see, which is kind of unfortunate, is I was hoping for, we're hoping to find my legendary recycler. It should be available somewhere where I can just go ahead and drop it. The problem is I don't know where to look for it. Because it's not a decoration. It's not a display either. It's not a display. It should be on here. It should be here somewhere. Maybe. So there's the mission board. We need one of those on our ship. We need one of these as well. You cannot. There it is. Module recycler with tray. We don't have enough. We don't have everything we need. Module recycler with tray. And all right, we already did the credit runners terminal. Okay. And then we can just hold B. That takes us out of there. I don't know what this is supposed to do. I'm not worried about it right now. I am curious about this guy. View purchase history, increase quest rewards. Yeah, upgrade successful. Okay, great. Okay, all right. Increase contraband loot amount, 100%. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Increase credits in loot, roughly about 360. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then, hey, why not? Just see what happens. I don't know. Right now, we only have 9,000 credits, so we're not doing anything. Oh, and then there's our inventory, our cargo. Holy cow, we got a lot of stuff in cargo. We'll take those. I'll take that too. Trying to pack. Holy cow. Oh, look at that. We got a ton of tea. All right. Let's hit X. All right, so this is what we have on us. We got a bunch of notes. We got a whole lot of stuff in miscellaneous. I'm not sure where all this came from, to be honest with you. But I'm not arguing. All right, what we want is to do this. So I don't know if I'm going to store that yet. We're going to store this one. We're going to store that. We're going to store this and that. I'm not ready to restore that one. We're going to store this. Not ready to store that one either. And then we're going to come here into resources. And then we're going to hit RB to store all our resources. We can go to miscellaneous. We can restore that. Metal plate, playing card, screwdriver, steel bottle, treasure token. Maybe won't. I don't know what that actually is going to do to us. The collectible essentials. So this is, we'll store that one because it's stolen. Weapons. So we will store this one. That one. That one. Okay. That one. That one. That one. Oh, that's a lot of damage there. Whoa. That one. Rescue axe. Okay, that's good for now. Okay. Okay. I think we're ready. I don't know. So a couple of mods that I usually have been playing with lately. One is Real Fuel. The other one is Real O2. I don't believe they are part of this mod pack, and I did not add them myself. They do change and change up the game kind of drastically as well. There are some things that you have to get used to with them, but it is what it is. And they're kind of cool because, one, with the real fuel, you have to have fuel to travel and make it from, destination to destination. And the key thing is you can't run out of fuel while in space. The fuel is really necessary for grav jumping, so jumping from system to system. And while you're in system, it's not as big of a requirement. So if you run out of fuel, you can travel from planet to planet to try to find. So you got free lanes, that's new. And then right now we don't have anything. So one of the things we better do right off the bat is throw a couple of things in here, throw a couple of things into the engine, to the weapons, so we don't get ourselves caught. I usually like this view. So this is our first time. You can see our hull is 100%. We have allocated all of our power, depending on how fast you want to go. So one thing that I recommend, always, shields should always be full power, 2 shields. Engine, again, as you can see, based on the size of your reactor, that's how much power you have to allocate. So you're not always going to be able to be all full in every single category. Grav drive, you need at least 1 bar to jump between systems, but the fewer bars you give yourself, the longer the grav drive takes to spin up. You can see there's a ton of other ships already out here in space. And one of the cool things is, if I'm not mistaken, like you can see that's our mission, right? So if I were to press and hold X, we can drav jump there. If I decide, and I'm trying to remember the actual controls, so left stick is the boost, and you see cruise. If I hold the cruise button, now I'm in the free lanes. I am cruising on, right? And then when I do that, that allows me to see other points in the system. And then I can, autopilot. So I can see this one's 10,000 light, whatever, away. So if I click on that one, and then I can hit RB. Now we're autopiloting, right? And the cool thing about it takes a minute to get going, right? So now it's going, and then we can tell that we're on our way. But then along the way, if there's any kind of anomalies or anything like that, they will pop up on screen. And usually, I think I have to hit something else to get ourselves going. I can't remember exactly what. But on an exit cruise, I hit and hold LB. So right now we're autopiloting. What in the world is it doing? It's doing something. And then you can see it's speeding up, and you can see right now there's a ship in between us and our destination, right? And I'm not even sure where our destination is. But and then dang it, I didn't want to click off of it, but it looks like I did. I will leave it. So there's a ship right there. I'm trying to think which one we're gonna hit up first. I'm not. That ship seems further away than what our destination was. There's a structure. Where's that ship? I lost the ship. There it is. So is this better than what was before? I'm going to say possibly, and it's simply because of the anomalies that is giving you the additional thing. And also it makes it feel like there's more stuff going on in space around you than there was before. And there was a lot of knocks or a lot of complaints about, well, there doesn't seem to be much in space. I disagree, but then I think mods have really helped. You know, for me, there's mods like reasons to explore, reasons to, I'm going to turn autopilot off, and then God, there's the show. All right, better turn it back on because we're still not close enough yet. So we have to get to be certain, like a few thousand meters away, and not so here we go. And then figure out exactly. So there's an emergency distress signal right there, so I can turn autopilot off. I'm going to say, hey, let's autopilot to that distress signal. And I'm kind of curious. Now, we might just die when we get here, but might as well give it a shot. Now, one of the things that I think is the biggest knock is it's hard to tell when you're up to speed or not at speed, and it's kind of like it takes a moment, and I think that delay for it to kick in is a bit excessive, and it makes it feel like, did I do everything right? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? And in that case, when it isn't, or when you're waiting, so you can see how many kilometers we are away. So we're still quite a ways away. And then once you get inside of 1,000 kilometers, we are here where we're supposed to be. And now it's up to us to figure out exactly how we're going to handle this. And you can see our maneuverability sucks. I'm not trying to board them just yet. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not going to be dying anytime soon. If I can get it down to just one ship left, then I'll be happy. All right, are there any more ships in the area? And I'm fine if there aren't. And then let's go get our loot. So that. And then where's it? Oops. Ow. I don't have anything to repair. What I'm trying to figure out is why I don't have anything. I thought I had some shipping, some what's the name, crates. And so if I don't, we're gonna have to go get some. Yeah, we can't run around like this. We're about, even our shield's at 100. Our hull is about to tank on us. So we know not to run into these things because that would be a bad thing. But nothing's happening here. So we have to look at that. All right, let's slow down. Let's slow down. So all we're doing is knocking this away from us. So, all right. So the first thing we need to do is get up out of here. Get up out of here. Not crash into one of these things again. And then what we're going to do is, well, let's go ahead and scan this. Right? Where are we at? We are over here. So there's a structure over there. We're not going to worry about that structure right now. This is where the emergency distress signal was coming from. We're already at that location, but I don't actually see anything, but we're going to jump out of this system. But we're not going to Akila City just yet. Where is it? I'm looking for Wolf. It's right there. See if we can get there. It says no, we can't get there, but is it because we don't have enough fuel? Our jump range, the distance is 37. Our fuel, you can see the fuel consumption. We would have enough to get there, but we haven't traveled there before, so we can either try Olympus or the RNA system. We can jump there, doesn't cost as much. Let's go ahead and hope. All right, so obviously that's not something we can do either. Let's try jumping to the RNA. Grav jump is current. Oh, okay. All right, let's find out why. Why is our grav jump disabled? Let's figure out this thing. I think we need to repair. All right, you know what? We got to do the smart thing. Okay, yes. It's been a while since I've done this. So, yeah, coming back. All right, interstellar travel is whatever. I'm not even worried about that right now. All right, let's go back to Volai. And let's go back to Neon. And we got to get our ship repaired. So, can we go back? Far travel is currently disabled, right? What? We're not. What? All right, let's get out of here real quick. Something's going on. How do we all of a sudden can't even travel anywhere? All right, let's look at our ship. Find out what's going on. All right. See, we cannot repair our ship. We have fuel. We have plenty of fuel, but our hull is damaged. Yes, we understand that. We did that. Yes. And unfortunately, let me go back here. I want to look at my cargo hold, and I want to look at my inventory, and let me look at aid. Ship parts, right there. Okay. So let's go here. Go to aid. Boom, boom. Anything that's stolen, we're gonna put on the ship for now. All right, and you can see we no longer have the risque colors. Now we can repair our ship. All right, there we go. I knew I had ship parts somewhere. I just couldn't remember. All right, I think we ended up using both of them, but that's fine. I don't care. I don't care that we did. What we're really looking for right now, all right, so we're back to 100%, is our engine. I'm not sure what that does for us, what it's doing to us. All right, we're back in the what's the name lanes. I'm looking for Voli Alpha. Because isn't that? And I'm wondering if I should just navigate straight there, or if I should look around and see what else is here. I'm not worried about. I don't want that structure. I still want to get to that ship, but we almost died last time. I don't want Psy. I want the ship. Can you give me the ship, please? All right, turn that off. There it is. Please, thank you. And then the one thing that, like I said, the thing that gets me the most is the buildup. So it's running. It's moving. So we're moving, and we'll see. Oh, nice. All right, nice. We are going to dock. Might not be the smartest thing for us to do, but we're gonna give it a try. Now this is a derelict ship, so before we do anything, we're gonna scavenge, and then let's oh dang. All right, so we just opened a door somewhere. All right, there's the captain up there. Earl's note, and before we do anything, let's get ourselves some infused bandages. I think I would feel more comfortable if I had left that door closed right now. We got a neurojack. What is that? That is fermented milk. We are drinking it. We are drinking it. It's fermented, so that means it's all right. Now look at that. We got a demoralizing drum beat. Ooh, 4K credits. Nice. Nice. All right. That was unexpected and very much appreciated. All right. And then we got some Cobb X. We got a helmet. We got a save. It's too difficult for us right now. Polytextile, breadstick, 200 more credits. That's nice. We might be able to find an actual key. Let's read Earl's. Oh, wrong thing. Earl's note. All right, I tried to convince him. I tried to stop him, but he wouldn't hear of it. He went on and on about how this was destiny, how science was a supernatural calling. He was crazed when he plugged himself into that thing, and now he's dead and we're adrift. Oh, I know this one. I hope he's out there among the stars looking down. I hope this was worth it, but I'll never know. So, this guy up here. Is there anything? All right, we'll get the vacuum tape for sure. Is there? Okay, that's just back to us. Anything? Ooh, baton. Another 4K. All right, so we just made 8K right there, and that was nice. That was nice. So he has an amp on him. Nothing else. So we'll read. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, bud. So we go here and we go our plan. Well, I've been convinced for years that it's possible to create a link between a human mind and a grav drive. There are so many unknowns to this technology, but my scans show a polymorphic system that mimics human cognition. Earl is convinced that this will kill me and the ship, but the price is worth it in my mind. Yeah, that was just what I hear in my head when I think of someone who actually plugs his head into the grav drive. You know what I mean? Overriding authorization, clearing ship identity and registration. Now, what this is supposed to do is allow us. So we're going to add this to our thing. And then I'm going to board my ship. Because I already collected everything down there, so I didn't need to collect anything more. I'm going to board my ship. Sit down in the pilot seat. And then undock. And then if I were to go and hit this, come down here, I now have a derelict mule in my, and then look, actually this one is better, right? Look at the cargo capacity. It's not as good, but it's almost there. Fuel is almost there. The reactor is better. Slightly. Okay. All right, so now that again the free lanes is kind of cool, like I said, in the sense that once you decide I'm going to go into the free lanes, now I can pick destinations in the free lanes, right? And decide I want to go there. So I don't want to go to the structure because I think something is bad there. Something that we don't want to get to just yet. So there is a ship out here somewhere that I just can't seem to identify. So now we're just cruising around. And as things pop, like right now, you know what? Screw it. Let's autopilot to the structure. Oh, the autonomous star yard. Oh. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if we want to do that. I don't know.
Hail acknowledged. Star station operating under automated control. No further response possible.
All right, we're going to go. Now, one of the things that usually I would do is I would have a mod in that extends the activation range. So right now you have to be 500 meters away before you can activate and dock. So there are mods that we can extend it out to 1,000 or even 1,500 meters. I prefer 1,500 meters. Also, there's mods that can change the transfer distance. I think 1,500 meters is a good thing there. Sometimes, so it depends. It really depends on what you prefer. Obviously, we don't have a mod that changes that. I used to have a kind of an INI type file. It was a tweaks file that I would load, and it had all those changes in it. So I didn't need any mods because I would just change it there. And every time I'd load, that would be it. So what we're facing here is I better pull out my weapon, make sure I got plenty of ammo. We are going to need to sneak around just a little bit. I don't know that there's anything actually of use in here. So I've been in here a few times. So and I never remember that it's there until I actually stumble across it, and I go, oh, okay, this one. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not doing anything. Might as well go in and check it out. So what's happening here is this is an autonomous, so it's run by robots, Star Yard, and I think things have broken down.
Hostiles may be nearby. I am unable. Repair
Right?
not possible.
So you can see right off the bat we're getting attacked. So, and you know, I'm not okay with it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so be it. But if we are gonna be attacked, then we gotta take them out as quickly as possible. Thank you. And to me, one is a good place for XP, right? So it's a good place to kind of farm XP. And then if you can get around and survive a little bit, you can get some loot. It's not a whole ton of loot, but it's some loot. And then so you can come out with more cash than you had when you went in. So right off the bat, some of the settings that see, look at this, and here's a worker. You got the chunks, and then if I do this, you can see we got some spacesuits there that you normally wouldn't get. And then, so my thought on this, right, with the Shades immersive looter. So normally, the way the game is written, you wouldn't have gotten the space suit. And so any commentary about how it's too easy to get a whole lot of money right off the bat, and then it's too easy to become OP with all the updates and upgrades you can make when you go out and get this money. Well, the game wasn't built to give you the spacesuit. It wasn't built so that, because those spacesuits you can sell them for like 1K, 2K, and then depending on how advanced they are, up to like 8, 9, 10, 13K. Right? Some of these spacesuits are worth 40, 50K. And so you can get quite a bit of money back. And so it's like, hey, you're going out there killing spacers, killing Crimson Fleet, and then you're looting them, and then it's a cash cow, right? And it's too easy to turn it around to your advantage. Well, I would argue that the game wasn't set that way, though. It wasn't built that way or made that way so that you could do that. It dropped only certain items, and then we, in turn, came back and said that's not good enough, and we created mods that now gave us the ability to go out and basically farm loot and quickly enhance our riches and allow us to finally, go out and make more money than the game actually probably intended right off the bat. So it's kind of, we can't knock them for something they didn't really do. It was something we did. So this is to open the Star Yard. That's where we came in. So I have issues with that because I see quite a few economy mods that nerf the money that the amount of money that you would get. Oh, you gonna be like that? That nerf like the value of selling certain things back and everything, and it bugs me because at no point should I be selling a $40,000 spacesuit, for 800 credits or 500 credits. You know what I mean? It's like, well, because it breaks. And then I hate to always keep throwing the word immersion or whatever, but it just breaks reality in that sense. It just doesn't make sense. At that point, you're like, Yeah, no, there's no way that suit is gonna, I'm selling that suit for, 150 credits. What's going on here? And it's like, it's kind of a simplified way to make up for something we did with the game itself. Because we couldn't accept the fact that the game wasn't going to give us that spacesuit off of that guy, right? And also in turn, we say it's too easy to get OP, but then again, we want harder, more challenging combatants out there, enemies, and then so they should have good gear. But then we take one out, and then we force the game to give us their gear, and then we get mad because that gear now makes us OP. So it's kind of like, well, maybe we should find a better way. I don't see. Power circuit. So like right there. See, so I just made the game give me something that it wasn't really going to give me before. Well, that's nice. So it wasn't going to give me his gear. His spacesuit and stuff. But I have a mod that's making it do that. What I'm going to do real quick here is we're going to quick save. Okay. Catastrophic damage. Alright. So we use the trauma pack and some bandages for the bleeds.
Massive damage.
Massive damage. Now, I'm shooting all robots, even though it is possible that not all robots are combatants. Now, I like to crouch because I like to keep like a small target. Oh no. Oh no. God damn it. At least I did save. Alright, we'll be back. All right, so we're jumping back in, and then what I think happened there, and it might actually even been what happened earlier. So before I started this one, I did add last minute added a mod, auto unlock, and I think that's messing with things. And so I just took it out while I rebooted the game, and so that might. We'll be able to test that when we try to unlock that terminal again. But I think that is causing us our problem, and it's mainly because even though like I said before, now there is a creation. I think it's called Easy Digipick, and I think there's a mod one that says Easy Digipick. I don't care for it myself because but I might actually switch to it. And what it does is it changes all the digipick puzzles to just two. So you just put the oh shoot. Got this. Are you serious? Serious, little guy? These little guys. So we'll see. I'll say before I do that. Like I said, I don't know that this guy is actually a threat. We'll see. He runs. If he doesn't shoot at me, I'm gonna shoot at him. Oh shoot.
Damage. All systems.
Where are you? Where are you? Shoot, I can't see him. Alright, wait. Wait, you got this guy. And you got that guy right there. Can't see him. Let's heal up. He's shooting over there. I just can't see him. Nice. Alright. So again, we can do this, and I can take all that stuff. That a digipick? Yep. Alright. Oh, there's another guy. Where? Where you at? Where you at? Ow! Oh, stop. Stop. Alright. Where are you? He's gonna make me want to go make sure I get him to fuck you up. Yeah, catastrophic damage. Alright, so let's save. And then we're just going to save like that. And then we're going to do this. Alright, easy. Yeah, I just got tired of. I mean, it was inevitable. You're going to get tired of them real quick. Let's see. So that one, and then I'm mistaken, that one. All right. All right. So robots update friend to foe, recalibrate. All right. They're gonna protect me. Remove, confirm. All right. All right, and then activate the units. All right. There we go. So there are going to be new units out there, but they're going to be protecting me from whatever hostile units already exist. See, like this guy here. And then we're going to come down here and check the other guys. Check these guys. And yeah, even though I know that I'm going against what it was intended, I am still going to loot as much as I possibly.
Please do not interfere with my tasks.
Your tasks are to protect me. You tech me. That's what you're gonna do. That's how my son says it. Tech. Yeah, I'll tech you. Well, guess what? I appreciate that. Appreciate that, little buddy. Alright, we're gonna go over here and check this out real quick. It's been a while since
Be advised that this is now a combat total system failure.
System failure. There's more in here. Ooh, there's a save. Oh dang, this is an advanced one. Alright. Let's see. So first things first. This does not belong on the first one. Alright, let's go with this one first. Alright, that takes that out. And then do we have, yep, we do. We have this one. Okay. Now the inner ring. So let's do it. That one's right there. So we just need 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's either going to be this one. 1, 2. All right, there we go. All right, so you you. All right. 1K and then a digibit. Just to make up for the one we had to use to open that. Chunks. I do not drink or eat chunks. Oh my gosh. Oops. Sorry, bro. I mean to mishandle you, so. And then we have, what are you going to do here? Update, recalibrate, remove, confirm, and then activate. We can use all the help we can get. Anybody trying to do us wrong, we need to update. So you can see these guys are not hostile. But I don't see where the hostiles are. I hear them. Oh, this is annoying. All right. Nowhere. Okay, and then there's no way over to that other side from here, right? Oh wait, isn't? All right, we were just at that. All right, so you can see. Alright, those are friendlies. So the baddies came from up here probably. Hold on, I need that. There's a slate. Alright, tell Woodson to revert that fix from the weapons test. It malfunctioned, and lucky enough, there was no live ammo on the factory line models. We really averted disaster on that one. The package he modified even had a dependency that would affect the Model A's. Those are the robots that we're fighting now. There is no excuse. It's been 3 weeks since that change went in, and it's been brought up multiple times. I won't ask again. Okay. All right. We're gonna go over here. I think the baddies all came in there. There is. Oh. Didn't want to go. Seriously? Didn't want to. Hey. Alright, how are we stuck in? There's another one, right? We traveled a long way just to get that little bit of loot. And we'll take that. Thank you. What's our... Alright, so we're getting... Our encumbrance isn't that high. Okay, so I think what they're talking about is a couple of things, right? So the Model A's, the robots that are hostile, the code change caused that. But then there's also a thing that they, oh shoot, they test. That is also affected with the code change, and it malfunctioned as well. Oh, there's a chest over there. How do I get to it? There we go. Ooh, contraband. And we definitely can't get into that. But hey, mech components. So we cannot, right now, we have contraband. Those, and that's the mech components. Alright. Back over here. There is another way. We went up here before. Do I want to jump across or do I want to get out of here through one of these doors? Is there a computer right here? Is there a computer around here? Because you need a computer to open those doors. Oh snap, we totally missed this. We are over encumbered. And here's something that I do that's kind of cheaty. I mean, what else? How much do I do that isn't cheaty? Okay. But if we want it right now, oop, wrong button. So if I come in here, go there, and then I hit cargo, I can access the cargo from where I am. And then I can go ahead and unload all that heavy gear, right? So we can unload that. I'm going to hold on to that still. Any packs that we picked up. Then helmets. Dang it, I got rid of the helmet I didn't want to get rid of. And then resources, get rid of those. See the contraband? I mean, technically, we can go ahead and put that on the ship. Foam cup. Vacuum tape. For now, right? And that way I can keep on going. Keep on keeping on. Alright, so that was one way. I thought there was another way. Let's go this way. Alright, there's no way. And then we're gonna... Uh-oh. We're gonna come back through here. Oops. Ow. Ow. There's that laser right there. And that laser hurts. Is it inactive yet? I think we got it. Okay. Okay. How many are left there? So that isn't going to work. That's not going to do it for us. That might, if we have, I think that's not going to work either. So we're going to have to go with this guy and hope right there. And then we need this guy somehow. That's all right. So we got to figure out. There it is. Okay. Then the inner ring. 3 and 2. 3 and 2. Did I just move that? Nope, I didn't. All right, so this is not going to work. 3 and 2. That might work. Okay, let's see. If I'm not mistaken, I ended up using this one, that one, and that one. All right. Let's see. All right, that's not going to do anything. So that laser got loot in it. So it's a mining turret, not even a laser. I think we Oh, shoot. There. There. I think this computer would have. Message sent. I keep on getting chewed out by Supervisor Dirk. He talks about our incompetence while completely forgetting Woodson left 2 weeks ago. Maybe actually be better at your job before telling others to do theirs. They keep underpaying my best people and the delays start piling up. I guess I'll just have to get one of the new interns to look into it. So you can see unable to process requests, and the reason he can't process the request is because we took it out. And then see, so this would have been a way in. So you had 2 different ways to get in there. Oh snap. Nice. Alright, I'll take whatever you got to give me. We love loot. And then up here. And then oh dang. Right, and then there's a safe right there. Alright, advanced. So first things first. I don't think alright, that's not gonna work either. I need that's not gonna work either. Boom. Okay, so then I need you. I think. All right. Then inner ring. I really think you right there, and then you right there. Okay, so we got this one to work, that one to work, that one to work, and then that one. Okay. And then boom, boom, boom. Okay, so weapon workbench. Oh, you poor thing. Alright. Anything good over here? We got a screwdriver. Pliers. These are all needed for Dark Star astrodynamics, so. So again, like I said, the best thing about this is just it's a Nova Galactic. We got food, so it's a good way to get some experience and pick up some loot from here and there. But it's not like, you know, you can get. And then the cool thing is, I mean, if you really want to, you can try and piece together the little bits and pieces, the fragments of lore that it provides. Open door. I believe this is the door we were looking at, and I was looking for a computer, and yep, it's right there. And then we can come back up here. Come back up here. And we've already cleared all that stuff out. And then our exit is over there. Nothing there. Couple things out there. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we just want to go back up and out. I don't remember. Oh, okay. Yep. I got this way. This way. And then so we can see just basically some coding went wrong. They let go the guy that had initially put all the code in, and no one could figure out how to back it out and save everybody's life. So if we wanted to, we could do that. Is that a digipick? Sure is. Never have too many. A day. Caution, you're low in space. Okay, so I have to take a look at that. Something's happening there. And then, boom. And then I can just go right to the cockpit. I understand. I'll have to check that out. It could be my C drive is getting full and that's causing an issue. It also could be that I have so many saves from other playthroughs that that's becoming an issue. So, I mean, so right here you can see it's doing that, but then it gives you that error. But if I come in here, I say this, and then you can see this is what I have so far. But if I switch characters, I only have like a few select ones, but I got this one, I got this one. So if I go in here, I say this, and then I can say delete, 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 and delete. Go in here. You can see there's a ton of saves here, but I can just, and what that might do is free up some space. And if I still get that then that means I want to look at my C drive, wherever your documents folder is. So you remember you're going to have a save games folder. So wherever that is, you want to make sure that that's not getting, that drive, wherever that is not getting full, because that's where your saves are. And every time you save, it's saving a certain size file there. And if you got other things that are getting saved there, and then it's starting to fight for space. So it could be anything. And we'll see. So now we see we're back in the free lanes, and you can see there are ship icons here that I'm seeing. So I can hit autopilot, and then it's going to take a minute to rev up. Sometimes I can hit boost to try to speed things along, and you can see, like, I just increased the speed at least to see if that helps it a little bit. There it is. You hear that one, so it's now kicking in. It's trying to do its thing, and then we can start seeing the counter start to go, and that's what it's doing. So I think right there, though, that's what I want. I want that ship right there, instead of going to Voli Omega. And you see there's an anomaly over there, so I can turn this off, and then I can say, hey, why don't we go to this anomaly right there, and then hit that, and then see what happens. And you see right there's another ship. So things appear as you are traveling along. But I am more curious as to what this anomaly is going to be. And we're not going anywhere near a hostile faction installation right now. Oh gosh. All right. So first thing we're gonna do, slow down. These flashing things right there are more than likely mines. And there's wreckage right there. And then there's wreckage, So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna actually head towards this wreckage and try to stay away from the mines. Is it moving away from us? I feel like it's moving away. Like we're getting further and further away from it instead of closing in on it. So, all right, it's moving as fast as we are or faster. So I'm not going to chase after it. That's for certain. And then let's see if we can find over here. All right, slow down. I need that. I'll take that stuff. We'll take that. What's this? All right. Anything else? We don't want to crash in anything because we saw what damage it did the last time. I think that's it. Everything. How is it so far away all of a sudden? And then it goes further away as we try to close in on it. All right, fine. You know what? You do you. I'm not going to worry about you. But what I am going to do, because we weren't able to do it before, interstellar travel is unavailable. We got to figure out why that is, because it's not making sense right now. But let's try to go back to Voli. Interstellar travel is not available. But you can see right now, this is not available either. So we got to figure out why we can't. Where are we, by the way? Is this where we are? Let me see something real quick. I'm going to do this. See if it lets me. Fast travel is currently disabled. Right now, I don't know. Fast travel is currently disabled. I am very curious as to what's going on right now with our ship. Because none of it's making sense. And in truth, it could be partially due to, say, a mod that we have or that is not working properly. And it's conflicting with the free lanes add-on. That is very possible. So it's not something I would necessarily say, yeah, that's not, that it should be working. I'm going to say, yeah, it should be, but something is obviously preventing it from working. So it's kind of, and then we can look in the settings, we can look at gameplay settings, and then see if we can figure out if something specifically related to our ship, right? So space travel. What I'm looking for right now is real fuel. I don't think useful Briggs is going to be doing anything or shouldn't be doing anything. Peak performance, shipbuilder, ship services, shipbuilder recovery mode, smart heal. Tiny reasons to scavenge is an additional mod that I actually added. Ship repair calculation, repair multiplier, regenerate unique ships. Time format, variable contraband. Sometimes they leave. Players Unity. All right, space lanes or free lanes. I'm sorry. Difficulty tweaks. Okay. Role players alternate start. That's what is this from? This TN grab jump mode. Immersive. In immersive mode, you can only grab jump when your ship is out in space. You must take off first. All right. Grab jump power required. This has the amount of power that must be placed into the grab drive before grab jump. Are you kidding? It can be half. It can be off, half, or full. Yeah. Fast travel mode. In immersive mode, you cannot use the menu for fast travel to other planets within the same system. You must use the scanner to travel between planets or orbitals. That's why we couldn't do it. And then cruise mode pips. If enabled, you are limited by fast travel. By fast travel mode, you also will not be able to use cruise mode unless you have at least one pip in your grav drive. This has no effect if your fast travel mode is all right. So that could have been what's causing us to basically sit here and pound our heads against the wall as we are not able to do anything we want to do. Let's see. Okay. All right, let it save. Let's figure out, let's see what's going on now. All right. I'm going to take it. We're going to go. So interstellar travel is still unavailable. I'm not sure why, but we're not going to worry about that. We just want to go back to Neon. And it's still unavailable. All right, so. All right, grav drive insufficient power, cruise mode is disabled. Oh, all right, so we're back to that. You need at least one pip. I got 2 in there. And what would really bug me is if it's the, and it looks like it's the free lanes that's causing us a problem, causing our issues. But right here, I want more information than interstellar travel is unavailable. This is where it really would come into play and help us out to know why. And the reason I say that is because it doesn't make sense. So I'm just landing wherever I can, the first place I can. Because I don't understand what's going on here. What's preventing us from traveling? You know, am I stuck in the free lanes and I haven't actually left or come out of it? Or is it really due to some setting that requires you to have your grav drive at full, which is not okay? All right, so we're going to exit the ship.
Hazard alert. Hazard alert.
All right. So you can see right over there. I think those are baddies. I don't think that. Right? And we're over encumbered, really? How did we get over encumbered so quickly? All right, well, we are. All right, spacesuits. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We can get rid of that. We got 3 of these to get rid of. And then that. Or did we possibly had to redo this over? No. Oh, that's cool, helmet. All right. And then what's our resources? All right. All right. All right. So that's better. So put our scanner on. So there is the deserted ecliptic garrison. Abandoned research tower. And what's this one? Antiquated radio observatory. And there's the market outpost. Okay. So we don't have a vehicle just yet. I can guarantee you, baddies. There's going to be a fight. A brouhaha is going to happen there. There's going to be a fight here. There's also a fight there. And then if we got closer to these guys, there would also be a fight. So there'd be a fight here. This one might be a friendly. And this one should be friendlies. And then if we wanted to, we could mine some iron. Oh, and there's another pipeline substation. So there's a lot of iron on this planet. God dang it, I fractured my leg. Alright, let's get out of here. Mobilizer. And a med pack. I don't actually know. What's this thing here? What's this telling us? Why is it making us come here? That's weird. Airlock. Okay, we don't want to steal. There's the control. Okay, we don't need that. But here's the self-service bounty. Here's the mission board. Okay. These should be good guys down here. Kind of deserted. All right. Okay, so I finally figured it out. So right here, this is, I don't even know which mod this is. TN's something. But what it's doing is it's interfering with everything that we normally know to do as far as travel. Okay, so I just turned everything off, disabled that, said screw it, get out of here. You're causing nothing but issues. And so no, we're not dealing with it. And so all those are off. And then so now once I did that, I was able to jump, right? Finally. And I'm still in the Voli system, but I was able to go around and get to a different place. So right now I'm up here. All right. I'm checking out this emergency distress signal. There's a ship here. There were 2 ships when we jumped in. We were able to take those out pretty quick. And then now we're docking with the vessel that is basically infested with spacers. So now we can jump around and go from spot to spot if we want to. I'm just going to do this here, and then we got to get ourselves more ship parts and get ourselves out of here. And then we can go ahead. So when I come back here, you can see we've already connected. So we're going to go in here and take out the baddies. All right, so boom. All right, we gotta take out the crew or leave the ship. And you can see it's 3 levels to this ship. So the first thing we're gonna do is take out everybody in here. Make sure we are fully loaded. Oh, this might be the cockpit right here. You can see there's passageways this way. Let's take this side. Oh, snap. All right, we got foodstuffs. So drinks, food. Oh, shoot. Ow, that hurt. Why are you shooting at me, man? Drumbeat. And we got the cleanup crew. We'll take that. So we're dealing with the Crimson Fleet right now. But you see that? We got food stuff. So we're going to take, and then I'm going to consume. And we're going to take that. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is all the food, right? And then we're gonna jump down. Okay, so what's in here? Okay. We'll take the vacuum tape. More food. You can only surrender to guards. We're not surrendering to anybody. Now, the thing is, we want to make sure they're not trying to overtake our ship. Hold on. Get out of the way, bud.
Now look at you.
We'll take your stuff right now. Oh, look at that. Now, one of the things I like to do is leave them like this, just so I know that I already looted them. Boom. I think we might be overcovered. And then so we're gonna deal with this side first. Oh, nice. More food. And drink. And then over here. More food. And then, oh, that's where it is. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So then we don't want to jump. Gosh. Ooh, chain reaction. They keep doing that, and that's not my intent. This is my intent. Oh, that guy did not want to die. All right. So now that was all the people. So we now know that was everybody on the ship. Drink that. reason we know that was everybody on the ship is because it gave us the now take over the ship prompt. So first thing was take out everybody on board and then take over the ship, but it wouldn't give you the prompt to take over the ship until after you've taken everyone out. And so we have nothing left to do, but alright, so we are over encumbered. There's tranquility right there. The module extractors in vanilla, they're worth 320 credits. You can see they've been nerfed to just 40. And then so that's why we're seeing some things are so highly priced and other things are so, just terrible. All right. That's the exit. Okay. Let's stop here for a minute. I think I'm going to get off. I'm going to look. Yeah, there's nothing on the other side, so we're going to go back up top. Okay. And then one of the things we can do right here. That's the door. All right. What's this? Ooh, fission regulators. All right, so that's contraband. We can then come up here. Look, more contraband. Harvested organs. Seriously, guys. Okay. I'm not certified to pilot this vessel. See, the problem that I have is, and it really depends on the mod you've added. Now, there's a mod that's called sit to add ship to fleet. So what that does is it allows you to sit and add it to your fleet even though you can't fly it. I prefer that one as opposed to this one, and so I kind of find it a poor choice to have this one instead, where now, and I mean, you can't steal a ship you can't fly. Okay. But I would like to see a system developed, a salvage system where, you go out and you find a ship and everything, and then you can put a locator or a beacon on it. And, and then basically somebody will come out and pick up that ship, right? Wherever you basically have the beacon. And then you can get money for the salvage of that ship. So you don't actually have to fly it back yourself. It can be hauled or towed back, and you get your cut, your share. Ooh, I like that one, isn't it? That's pretty cool. So it's interesting. And again, kind of frustrating that that's a mechanic that didn't make it into the game, basically. And we haven't gotten to the point yet where, we can bring it in. All right, so we got the water, but the booze can go on the ship. And then we'll put that there. And then I think we have meal kits, so we can, hold on to a few. And then All right. Let's see. Mm-hmm. So my thinking is there's so much potential, and we're just not seeing it. We're not, getting there and taking advantage of what could be, right? And then so you see like even the title of this, what, Starfield should have been. And, there's still that constant ideal out there that, well, what it should have been potentially. And so there's so much out there that's still just untapped that can be added. And then the question becomes, you know, can someone do that? Will someone do that? Kind of like this one is kind of interesting. All right. Okay. So we can't add that. So now we just got to say, okay. And then again, I wouldn't be so saddened by the fact if there was a way, like I said, to put a beacon on this ship, right? And then have someone come out and grab it. And then we could get our, our cut. Now, unfortunately, so that's not the case here. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to turn around once I got my distance from it. I'm going to slow down. Right? Now, I blew it up because it doesn't do anybody any good. All right. I was kind of hoping that there would be some ship parts on there still. Because as you can see, we are kind of hurting. We are kind of hurting. All right, so now you can see we don't get the now in truth, I think the smart move really would be to go back to Voli Alpha and go back and get some ship parts, especially seeing the distance that we have to travel to do so. Yeah, I can't in good conscience say. So we'll come back here, go to Neon, and find out. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's go to Trading Post, travel. So this is old vanilla traditional way of going from spot to spot. Oh my god, that's not good. Weird. Oh my gosh, where's my... I think we're gonna die. Yeah, there's no way. Well, that sucks. To live is to suffer, to survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Yeah, we got to figure out what we can do. Now, it's going to keep jumping us back in here. And we can't jump. All right, Galbank is loaded. I'm going to try. And we can't jump into a different part of the system. We actually have to jump out of the system. And so RNA is going to be the very first. And then what we got to do is bring this down and bring this up. Okay. and get out of there as quickly as possible. Fortunately, we got out of there before we were discovered. And then what I want to try to do is once we get to Arne. Alright, nice. Alright. We can ignore that message. I do want to open this planet map and scan. Plenty of helium-3 on this planet. So if we were down on fuel, we could pick up fuel right there. And you can see there's a ship. We're over here. I'm not really willing to. There's a party cruise and then a derelict metropolis. I will go check that one out. I can't help myself. It's a derelict ship. Maybe we'll find some good stuff on there real quick. There it is. Right now, we don't have anybody on our ship that can help repair the ship, and we don't have any ship parts. We used them already. So we're kind of just out here flailing about. We are as soon as our shields go down, and then that was the one thing, we saw our shields go down almost immediately, which is kind of distressing. Alright, so we're gonna unlock this. I don't know what's on this ship. I don't think I've actually. It's too difficult. Alright, we got it. Great if we found some ship parts. Weapon case. Alright, we'll take the weapons. Nice. Alright. Alright, so that's the way out.
This area is off limits. You need to leave. I am opening my total system failure.
Alright. I think I know the scenario here. So I'm just gonna go with it. Only Dr. Barrow's key. Alright. This is what I'm expecting to find. The scenario here is a bunch of combat robots have been activated by one of the crew members. And these combat bots have now taken out the entire crew. Are you serious? We're not going to be able to get through because of that. Alright, can I move it? I don't think I can move it. Item is too heavy to carry. I know what we're going to do. One more try and we leave. Guess what it did? It just put it more in our way. Alright, let's see. Nope. Oh, dang. I'm gonna try to kill myself. That was completely unsuccessful. Okay. Yep. No way in. All right. That was bad. That was terrible. We'll take the wrench. And then, I think, yep, down here. So, we did get some credits at least. So we can put that back. Where's the ship? Right there. Let's see what loot, if any, we can get off of it. Or none. That is just absolutely freaking fantastic. Alright. So what we can try to do, and I think that was the party cruise. Alright, so nothing we can do here. We can come out here, and then we can try to jump to here. Or let's give this a try again, and then this time we're just gonna jump right. Frick. I'm not sure why it won't let us just go straight here. It should let us. I don't know why it won't. Ah, there it is. I just need to set course. I'm not that bright sometimes. We're gonna have to wrap this up soon. My dog is downstairs waiting for me to let him out. And I haven't eaten lunch or breakfast yet today. Alright, entering. Oh, I don't. No. Oh my god. I am so stupid at times. God damn it. Frick. I don't even know what the heck just happened. I think let's go back to the cargo hold. It's all gone. You see it's not there anymore. So I just had to eject. I think.
Star Collective, please maintain your current course while we scan your ship.
I don't have contraband on my ship.
Our scan detected contraband. Halt and prepare to be boarded. All illegal and stolen goods will be confiscated.
God, I'm so stupid.
Copy that. Stay on course while we escort you in.
Yeah, I'm pissed. So, all the stolen stuff was removed. Right? So, everything that had a stolen thing, you can see it's all going to show there. We're in Neon jail.
So you're telling me I have to take my entire load of alcohol back to New...
So, yeah, that was awful.
Save it for someone who gives a damn.
So, our ship still needs repair. We are very much poorer than, well, we're 11K poorer than we were before.
These tariffs and taxes are getting ridiculous.
And we need ship parts. And then I honestly don't even know where to buy them. So we're going to go to Trade Authority first. I hate this guy.
If it's too hot to handle, you got the money.
All right, so we got this much. I don't know. I'm just going to sell a bunch of stuff here. So we're not getting a good, decent price off of them for anything, to tell you the truth. And this is what I'm talking about. These are all like this one right here. So it says the value is 645. We know that's not the case. We know this isn't the right value. And most of these are not the right value, but the value has been nerfed to the point where, you know, it's kind of so that it limits what you would make off of them normally. And to me, I think that is a piss poor way to handle, you know, if you don't like the way the economy is working, if you think it's too easy to get rich, then it's kind of like, well, then stop using the shades, you know, immersive looter, and stop looting the spacesuits off of the dead bodies, right? Because the game itself isn't giving you that mechanic. It's not giving you that option. You have to force it to let you take those spacesuits. So you're forcing it to give you the means by which you're getting rich. And then you're mad at the game and you're nerfing everything down because you're able to get rich. And so do you see the contradiction there? So it's kind of like, me personally, I don't agree with any of the economy mods, just because I think they are poorly constructed and don't really fix the issue in a way that's reasonable, or that doesn't just, you sit there and then it's frustrating, right? To see just how little you do get back. And so again, it's kind of really, and so again, I'm not a huge fan of it. It is part of the mod pack and I haven't taken it off. So I've let it stay there, but again, it's kind of, you'll see me basically flailing against the wind every time I get in this position where I'm trying to sell stuff, and I'm selling it for such a, just a barely. Now, I'm surprised that this even is there. I don't know what this is, but hey, take it. So, and then I'm just gonna sell some of these. So this is all just miscellaneous stuff, and then some of these things won't actually, you can't use for anything. Some, like vacuum tape and anything with the parentheses, can be used. So I can sell these at least in a space junk display. Scrap paneling, electronics. But these with the parentheses can be used for Dark Star astrodynamics and Dark Star manufacturing, especially to for research. So I don't get rid of them right away. But the heavy stuff here, reservoir. Oops, I sold one thing more than I wanted to. The fans. So it's kind of, to me, it's like we got to figure out a better way, right? But at this point, it's kind of a, well, we got to do. It's kind of like there's a feeling that you got to do, at least do something, and it's like, well, yeah, it's one thing to do something, but then it's another to just do something and it be piss poor. And so, maybe I would use kinder words if I wasn't so frustrated over getting caught like that with the contraband. But I'd still, like I said, I want to see just something better than what we are seeing. And if I could mod, I would probably, I would try, if those of us that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, but those of us that can't do better shouldn't, complain either. But like I said, looking at the sale prices here is just frustrating, knowing that, and then here's the counter to that. So we come in here, go to aid, and if they did have any, they don't. But we look at the snake oil price. We look at where's the heel paste price isn't bad, but it's not. It's usually lower. Injector's not bad. The med packs, these prices are all inflated, but not hugely. And then you can see these prices, a good many of them are inflated. But then when we go and we look at our spacesuits, look at this, right? 25K for the spacesuit. And you wouldn't get anywhere near that in return. So right now, this is 18K if I wanted to buy it. And I would get 2.4K back for it. I don't know that that's as bad as I would think it to be, because I don't want half. And 18K, I want at least 10% of the value. But I have to believe this is worth more than 6K. In this one. And I could be wrong. They may not be worth that much. So I could be flailing against the wind right now, being angry about the nerfing of the prices. And in truth, these prices aren't as nerfed as bad as I think they are. Right? And then, okay, if I'm going to buy my weapons, 10K for that, or 9K for that, 8K for this. And this is my favorite weapon in the game, the Kadama. And it's burst fire too. How much is it? 7.5. I'm taking it. That's because it's my favorite weapon in the game. So I'm gonna take it. I can't help myself. But then all the weapons that I have, and then let's see, we just bought that. So if I sold it, I could get, where is it? Where did it go? I just messed up and got rid. There it is. So I can get 1K. I'm not gonna knock that. I'm not gonna say that's bad. I will say that I do know when it comes to the miscellaneous items, the value for these is greatly nerfed. And then maybe that's the whole point. It decided, it was saying, you know, that these things are worth way more than they should be. We sold an exotic vase already, and it normally is valued at about 655, and I think we sold it for 15 credits. That kind of hurts. So I don't know. I'm gonna just, on this one, I'm just gonna say, okay, whatever, whatevs, and just let it go. But yeah, it's kind of frustrating for some things to be so priced a certain way, but we gotta find some oh gosh, what is it called? Ship parts. I think we can get it from this guy.
Just want to say again, best deals in town.
And then he was gonna tell me thank you again, and I'm okay with that. I am taking all 4 of his ship parts because we need it. All right, thank you.
Watch your back out there.
I'm gonna try. I need to. So right off the bat, I can do this, and I can do that, and then I can come in here, go to aid, and then unload these onto the ship. They don't do us any good unless they're in the ship inventory. And you can see right there, we can repair it, and it took 2 to repair our ship. Right, so we have to keep an eye on it and kind of make sure we keep plenty in stock. As a matter of fact, I probably should go down to Sigurd's and see if he's got any, and then we can take off and go. But I need to go eat. I'm hungry, and that's probably causing me part of my irritation. So
been the premier supplier of private firearms. But this coveted position may be slipping.
We'll leave it.
Firearms has been ramping up production in Akila City and are taking away market share. And it's not just Laredo that's a threat. Core kinetics and combat tech. Been making gains as well.
So you see that? Usually I like to. Does it have a? I like to trick it out a little bit more, but this is cool. And this burst fire. All right. So guys, once again, like, comment. If you disagree with me on anything I've said, let me know. I'm fine with having a debate. I'm fine with expressing my opinion. Like I said, there's a ton of things about the game that I love. There's a ton of things that we try to fix and get right and don't. And then there's a ton of things that we do fix and get right. And so this game I'll be playing for the next few years unless somewhere down the line somebody decides to create something that's better and that I enjoy playing more. So far though, no, nothing that I think is better or that I enjoy playing more. So yeah, let me know what games you feel that way about. If it's not this one, let me know that game that you ride or die for, that you want to go, that you would just keep going back to over and over and over again, because no matter what, that's the game that you just get lost in first. This one is the one for me. Even with some hiccups and things like that, I still get lost and completely immersed in the world, in my character, and in what I'm doing. Even if it's stuff that I've already done before, I still get lost in it. All right, guys, I'm out. More power to you. We'll see you next time. Peace.